I'm Amanda Lee Sparks-Hat, and I am an energy mindset coach. I help people line up their energy, deepen their intuition, and make more money. This is part 2 of 4 of Easy Tools of Transformation. This one's called Forward Writing. If you're there, say hello. So the basis of this tool, which I've called forward writing after someone else in my life named it that. I forgot what it really was named when I learned it, but this term works very well. So the basis of it is that we are continually telling ourselves our story, and these things that we tell ourselves become our reality. So if we're constantly thinking things like, I can't remember names, I'm not good at remembering names, or I'm never going to make the money I want to make. Hello, say hello if you're there. Thanks for the hearts. Hi. So if you're telling these things like, I'm never going to make the money I want to make, I'm really not good with names, these things become true. If you stop telling yourself these things, they can shift and change. So what forward writing does, hey Sharon and Maggie, is it allows us to tell our story, but we do it in the future in the past tense. It's a little confusing, but our thoughts that we're thinking right now are shaping our future. And if you're not yet good at like monitoring your thoughts and kind of guiding your thoughts into things that you want to be thinking about, then you're likely creating a future that's not exactly what you want. Hello, Lorna. So to help shift this and get onto a track where you want to be, to get to where you want to be, you want to be writing your story how you want it. Hey, my Rebecca. Woohoo! Thanks, you guys, for joining me. It's so fun to have people here. And what you want to do is you want to be specific, but not too specific that your mind is like, no, we can never do that. It's too big. So, like as an example, at the beginning of the year, I set some goals, and then I kind of fell off the wagon of things, and I forgot what they were. So when quarter 2 started in April, I re-looked at stuff and I set goals for the quarter. So that's April, May, and June. So these days I've been doing a lot of forward writing that's taken me to the time of June 30th, which is the end of the quarter. And being in this situation, I'm writing about how I've accomplished these goals I've set for myself for these 3 months. So it's like, oh, I'm so happy now that I've got into the routine of moving my body and I've shifted down a jean size. That kind of a thing. So now, where we're at, I'm putting myself in my mind forward. It can be a specific date. It doesn't need to be specific. And I'm acting as though I've already done these things, even though current time where I'm currently at, they're not yet accomplished. It can be a little tricky to wrap your mind around it, but that's the essence of forward writing. And you can go super forward. You can go forward just a little bit. You can go, like if you have a trip coming up in a couple of weeks, and you know that when you travel, you get really tired or you have this reaction that you normally have, you can, in your forward writing and journaling, with like a pen and paper, this is the best, write how amazing it was that you arrived and you were full of energy and the food was wonderful and the people were great and it was just so amazing. So if you do that a couple of days in a row, usually about a week, you kind of need to really get the energy moving. Because what you're doing is you're sitting in the vibration of the thing already happening. And this is like the secret to manifestation, is acting as though you already have it, which when you don't have it is really freaking tricky. So by doing this forward writing and telling the story of having had this stuff happen, you're feeling what it feels like, and that is the big key. You gotta feel what it feels like to have this happen. Like, oh my God, it's so awesome! I had this thing, and it's just so amazing. Because when you're in that high vibe, I've got like shivers and goosebumps. It's awesome. When you're in that high vibe energy, that is the energy of like calls to like. Everything's vibrating. So when you're high frequency stuff are coming to you. And when you stay there for longer than about a minute, the momentum gets going really fast and you get more and more thoughts. Let me just check my notes and make sure. Does anybody have any questions? It's been fairly, not too confusing so far. It's similar to an exercise that I done years ago from a course I taught it. I learned it in, where this lady had us write a letter to ourselves a year from now, telling all the wonderful things we did in the last year. Same kind of concept, but with forward writing, you do it on a daily basis, and the aim is to fill 3 pages, like just like regular size paper pages. And I find sometimes I battle to sit down and do it, but once I sit down and I do it, and I usually start off pretty general. I love receiving. I love being open to receive. I love allowing good things into my life, and do that for a little bit. Then I get to be in that feeling of, oh, it feels so good. And then it just, like, it flows. And suddenly 3 pages are filled, and it happens fast, and it's great. If you find, like, you can't write, you can type. The point of the writing is it keeps our brains focused. You can also speak it aloud if you're really averse to writing things down. But when you're speaking, it's much harder to keep your attention focused. And that's kind of the big key, is that when you're writing 3 pages of this stuff, and you can repeat over and over stuff you want. You don't have to be different. When you're writing it down, we're focused because we've got the pen moving or the keyboard typing, and it's keeping ourselves focused because we need to sit in the energy for a decent amount of time. The longer you sit, the better it is. And if you are like super gung-ho, you can do this more than once a day if you want to. All right. Yes, so you want to make sure when you're doing it that you feel great. Because if your vibration tips down and your brain starts to go, oh, we couldn't get that. You want to back off the specifics a little bit there and go a little more general. So, for example, I had an example. I wrote it down. Okay, so if, right now, you've got dreams, you want to have $250,000 a year as your income, but you're only making like $100, $200 in a month, that's a big jump. And so our minds will resist that because they're like, we can't do that. It's too big. So what you want to do is you want to break it down a little smaller. You want the goal, the idea to be a little uncomfortable, but not like, oh my God, I can't do that. It's too big. So everyone's point in this is going to be different. And you can do this for any area in your life. It doesn't just have to be money, but money is an easy example that anyone can relate to. So if you're making like $500 a month, you want to be making I didn't do the math on that one, but essentially you want to be making around like $20,000 in a month. Do some forward writing on how it feels in that long term, having met this goal of you're making $250,000 in a year and how like amazing that is. And then also do some in stopgap goals. So for about a week, maybe a month, write how, oh, I love receiving $1,000 a month. I love I love having $5,000 a month come to me. I love allowing in $5,000 a month. I love how easily I make money being myself. Yes, stretch, but not to distress. Because if you put yourself in distress, you'll be battling your mind all day. And that's just really not fun. On subjects that you have some resistance or you set a lot of goals and they're just not showing up, these are your tougher subjects. So on these subjects, be sure and go general or else quite broad into the future. On some other subjects, you can get specific because you don't have as much resistance. I used this process just over a year ago when I was having resistance around getting my business bank account. And I didn't know what to pick, and I was all afraid of choosing wrong. So I wrote things like, I love my business bank account. I love how there's no fees. I love how well it works for me. I love my business bank account and how amazing it is and how great the bankers are and how just that kind of sentiments of just feeling how amazing it was. And after doing that, I think it was about 2 weeks that I had added that into my 3 pages of writing daily. Suddenly I made a decision, I found the right one, and I had the account open. Like, this is seriously powerful stuff. Let me see, back to my notes and drink some water. This really is true mindset work. And mindset is just our beliefs and the thoughts that we keep thinking, because the thoughts we keep thinking create our beliefs. So when you have some that you've been having for a long while and you've got a lot of resistance on, it can take some time to shift it. It doesn't need to, but it often can. So the key to this is, there's a couple of keys. Consistency. Do it daily or every other day. Set aside some time. the mindset work that I do every day, I do about a 15-minute meditation, and then I write my pages. And the whole thing takes me, depending on the day, 20 to 25 minutes. The meditation being the biggest chunk of that. Because once you get in this vibration of, I love how this has happened, and I love this is so amazing, I love how this is great, I so love allowing money into my life, it just like it flows, and you're utilizing law of attraction and vibration and all this behind the scenes stuff, but you don't need to know about that. You just know you gotta feel good and you gotta do it. We got questions? Let me check my notes again. The other thing to do when you're doing this forward writing stuff is when your thoughts stray to the subjects of what you've been writing about, and this will take some cultivation of awareness, but you want to be aware. So if you've been writing about money, you're like, I want to have $1,000 a week flow into my life. And I'm super excited. I love having $1,000 a week. I love allowing $1,000 a week. So whenever your thoughts go to money, which they will often in a day, if you're working with this subject, you want to be aware if you're thinking, oh my God, it's not here yet, or if you're thinking, I'm so excited for it to come. I know it's coming. Because the first one of, oh my God, it's not here yet, you're putting the brakes on the manifestation, because that is a much lower vibration than, I'm so excited for it to come. Oh my God, it's not here yet. So if you find yourself thinking thoughts like this about what you're working on manifesting and allowing into your life, you want to reframe and tell yourself, I know it's coming. It's on its way. I'm very excited. Because this is changing behind the scenes. What this is doing is changing your vibrational set point. Because your old vibrational set point, according to the subject, was very low. Because you kept thinking, it's not here yet. What am I doing? Oh my God, I want money. I need money. So if you're changing your thoughts to be more, I'm excited for it to come. I know it's on its way. It's going to be so amazing. I love this stuff. You're going up the vibrational scale. And if you can get it to that high place where you get it when you write the stuff down, this is where the magic really starts to happen. And it can happen super fast. And like, be gentle on yourself, because you're changing your thoughts, and our thoughts are a little crazy. And it's like, you can totally change your thoughts, but what it's kind of like is an analogy. If you haven't been moving your body much and you decide, okay, I'm going to get fit, and you go to the gym and you expect to be able to do like 300-pound like arm curls on your first day at the gym after not being active for a long time, this is unrealistic. You haven't trained your muscles to do that yet. You need to start lower. It's the same thing with our minds. We can train our minds to focus on what we want to focus on and drag them back. So the other analogy I have that's really useful with this is our thoughts are like a puppy or a kitten. If you don't give that puppy or kitten something to distract itself, it's going to go and find its own mischief to get into. As little kind of touchstones to help you, if you find you're having trouble shifting your thoughts, put up little post-it notes, little reminders. Put a little reminder on your phone. Change your phone background to a quote image. You can write on your bathroom mirror with dry erase. Little kind of things around you that will catch your attention and remind you to think good about these subjects. So, does this make sense to everybody? I think I touched on most of the stuff I put in my notes here. So you want to write things you want to have happen in the past tense, like they've already had happened. You want to do this every day if you can. You can start with 1 page and work your way up to 3. And sit in that vibration of feeling, it's already happened. It feels so great, because that really is the key to manifestation, is acting as though you already have it. Make sense? Any questions? Everybody got that? Because this really is true mindset work. Sharon says, why are tears happening now? Sharon, for you, that's a... Hang on, let me get some. It's a releasing of emotion for you, Sharon, that, oh my God, I can do this type of feeling. Like it's, here's a piece of information and you're just kind of letting it in. That's what I got told to tell you. So the other thing that I forgot to put in my notes but had a shower thought earlier about this stuff is it's a little bit of a step into taking the power in your life, taking back the power in your life. We do create our own reality with our thoughts, and most of our thoughts are unconscious or reacting to things that are happening around us. So when you start to take control of your life and your energy and your manifestation by doing this type of forward writing mindset kind of work, you're taking back your power and your life will change. And sometimes it'll change and it'll get a little bumpy first, and then it should smooth out because you're doing things differently. And remember that old definition of insanity from, I think it's Einstein. The definition of insanity is doing the same thing over and over again, expecting different results. So if what you're doing hasn't been working, maybe it's time to try something new. In forward writing, anyone can do it. You need a pen and a paper, some scrap paper, or like even just a computer, because if you're typing, you can stay focused. Awesome. So if you want more help with your mindset stuff, our beliefs create these thought trenches and they get sucked in there. So what I help people with is we clear these thought trenches, we get the ground level, and then we help you create a thought trench that's helpful. So you can always message me for a session. I'm at sparkthejoy.com. You can find me on Facebook at Spark the Joy. And yes, thank you all so much for being here. This was super fun. Next week we'll have part 3, and I'm super excited to see you there. Okay, bye.